What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about SoundHound. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down on what is really moving it, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So SoundHound is up 6.99%, 1943 the low, 2226 is the high. So today is definitely a good sign, showing that it is once again alive. There's a lot of different attributing factors on what is causing it to go up as high as it is today. One is just generally shorts. So shorts were really starting to double down. So they actually caused this right here, but they started to return with good manufacturing data. So manufacturing came in at 49.3, forecast was 48.5. Very good data. And this is kind of moving towards that big psychological 50. Once it does get over 50, that shows that the market is fully in expansion mode. So it is just inches away. So the market is really rallying behind that. But looking at what shorts are doing, they're increasing roughly around 290,000 shares. 25.72% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 84.64 million shares overall are being shorted. Just looking at this teal line right here, you can kind of see exactly what shorts are doing. So at the peak, they were increasing roughly around 2.5 million shares. So by them increasing, that adds selling pressure. So they caused this downtrend right here. And then of course you can kind of see based on the chart, they returned because of the manufacturing data. And then obviously the rest is history. So this is why I like to analyze a lot of the data behind the scenes. It kind of paints a good picture. But prior to today, I was kind of hesitant about SoundHound only because of the technicals. It did break below that very big psychological $20 mark, so $20.26. So it did break below that, insinuating more consolidation. But because of today's revival, it's kind of, again, showing signs of it being alive. No actual news associated to SoundHound today, no SEC filings. You are seeing some hype, most likely because of the CES event as well that is coming out next week. So they have a booth between the 7th and the 10th. I've seen some people talk on how they are presenting. I've yet to see any information showing that they are truly presenting outside of just their own booth. So of course everyone who has a booth has their own kind of setup and what they plan on doing, but as far as a full-on presentation, I don't see that in the schedule. But again, I could be wrong. I might just be missing it or whatever else. So let me know your thoughts on that. Moving over to options though, 20 million in calls, 5.08 million in puts. 49% of all the options being done today are optimistic in nature. So SoundHound is definitely one of those very, very volatile stocks that will, if you overthink it, it will make you gray, very stressed out. If you believe in SoundHound bigger picture, then take advantage of these prices, because I feel like, especially with the recent Lucid partnership, a lot of people are downplaying that. That is a very, very good accomplishment. And not only that though, a very big stepping stone towards Tesla. And for those of you that don't know Lucid, they have the PIF behind them, supporting them. And so in order for the SoundHound to actually be working with Lucid, it would have had to have gone rubber stamped by the PIF, because they have controlling interest in obviously their day-to-day activities and so forth. So you never know the potential outside of just the EV market that the PIF might even like SoundHound with and kind of move outwards. And plus, even aside from that, the PIF might be making a investment in SoundHound itself if they do like what they see. SoundHound is very much in AI, looking for the next big stock to invest in. So something to keep in mind. But aside from that, of the call options that are being purchased, you see a consensus for it to be back above that $24 to $25 range. So still a lot of optimism is back on the table. And then the bears, they're anticipating for it to be sub roughly $20 next week. So even they're not as bearish as they once were. A lot of signals were pointing for it to kind of pull back to roughly around that $15 range. So I think they were kind of betting on that, but obviously market can change just like a light switch. this is the current open interest. So especially with today being Friday, just take note of this. Shorts might get a little bit more active if SoundHound does potentially test that $22 range. So just be aware of that, because both market makers as well as shorts have a financial interest in suppressing SoundHound below that point of $22. So you have 7,000 at in the open interest at 22, 6,000 at 23, 12,000 at 24. So just kind of take note of that. These are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So you are seeing a kind of resurge of optimism. So a lot more big money getting into SoundHound. And so this is all the string of buying that did happen, all right here, because of manufacturing data. So that was absolutely on point. With it at 21.71, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So once again, that $20.26 is going to be that very key support that you'll really want to watch for it to hold. Flip side, 22.60, 24.94 is going to be the next strong resistance / target. And no new analyst ratings, nothing like that, as you can kind of see right over here. So last one was done 11 days ago, but it is to note, going over here, very limited supply. So I always like to bring this up as well, because that's kind of a good thing to take note of, is that there is currently 0 shares available through IBKR, and you can kind of see that right here. Actually, can you see it? Yes, you can. My face isn't blocking it. So yep, that's always a very, very good sign. So short kind of stuck in a pinch right now, but on the actual chart itself, because of this kind of resurgence, you are seeing it above that ALMA. So essentially that is a key one to really watch for in the short term as well. So $21.40. So all in all, SoundHound I think is going to do a lot of good things in the foreseeable future. Where it lands based on the technicals is anyone's guess. It's bearish one day, bullish the next. It's kind of all over the place. But one big thing that obviously will be announced soon will be their upcoming earnings, and that most likely will be next level of volatility. As I've explained, similar to what happened with Palantir, as it started to really move up and appreciate, a lot of just Wall Street doubted kind of the evaluations and the multiples that Palantir was getting. So this is why you had a lot of just bearishness. That most likely is going to occur with SoundHound. So just wanted to kind of share that with you. So let me know your thoughts on SoundHound. Are you buying? Are you selling? When it did dip right over here, did you, for instance, buy the dip at 19, or did you kind of do some options? What did you do behind the scenes? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and pop over to my Patreon, where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers, especially if you pop over just in the last 4 days. I've been giving some targets and all of them have been hit. So massive runs on a lot of different stocks. So worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.